Welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC and some of these altcoin that I think are either ready to take off or make some further sell-off, right? So, but before we get started, we're going to go take a look at coin market cap very shortly. The current price of BTC, according to coin market cap, is just about 52.81. Ethereum still under 160, Ripple under 30 cents. Ontology is one of the biggest gainer in the top 20, right? So sitting just about 9% up, right? So I mentioned it on my previous live stream. Most of the time, Ontology is one of the first coin to give you those 15 to 17% move to the upside, right? And then if you really take a look at it, it's been like more than 17% up, because it was under $1 a couple of days ago. Now it's just about like $1, dollar. It went up to $1.16. So keep that in mind. Don't sleep on Ontology. So, but I'm looking for I'm going to talk about Ontology on my live stream. So let's go back to BTC, right? Before we get back to BTC, the total market cap is just about 170, 171. Total volume just about 38. We saw a slight decline. It was like 45 billion last time we talked about, right? We talked about this total market cap. I mean the total volume, right? And BTC dominance just about 54.4, right? So we're looking for 50% dominance. So altcoins need to wake up for to decrease this Bitcoin dominance, at least for the short term, right? So let me know if the sound is good, so before I get started, right? So let's go back to Binance and take a look at the price action of BTC, right? Last time I talked about BTC on it was like, I think a couple of days ago, right? So on the 25th, right, just about 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time, right? As soon as the I ended at the live stream, we got that big dump, like almost 10% drop, right? So, but if you've been following me, we had this we got this in mind, right? So I said it like on the 17th. Let me show you the video very shortly, right? Just about this area. We talked about this this scenario like long time ago. So if you pay clear attention, we talked about this, just about this area. So we say Bitcoin gonna get to this area of number 2 waves. The wave number 2 came back down to this area. That's what we got, but that's what we did exactly, right? Just about 52%, and then not 52%, but 5200, and then we got support from this area of 100 EMA. So we had like multiple scenarios. I didn't talk about the bearish sentiment last time on my previous video. So but as soon as I ended up the video, we got this sell-off, and then we playing this out perfectly now. So keep that in mind, guys. So but as I'm making this video, we getting a sell-off. So hopefully, like, we're gonna come back down to this trend line, maybe 1%, 1.5% below this trend line before a further move to the upside. This is a bearish scenario, right? So, but if you really want to be bullish, you could be looking at, instead of looking at this entire wave, you could be just looking at this triangle just about this area. That's very aggressive. I said it last time, right? So I gave you 2 scenarios, right? One is to be bearish. This one is a bearish scenario because your wave number 5 going to be just about this area, and then you're looking for a dump to the downside. So let's say I want to be extremely bullish, right? I'm looking for this wave just about this area, right? So that's a wave I'm looking at. So if I want to be bullish, I'm still bullish until I see like further sell out, but excuse me, but we're just gonna have to wait and see how this triangle going to be playing out, right? So, but I'm still bullish. So that's a wave I'm looking at. We got wave number 3, so I'm looking for wave number 4 just about this area. We're gonna get some rejection just about 5600, 1.5% above this trend line. It's not gonna be a big deal. So, and then wave number 5, and then a push to the upside, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the bigger picture now, the weekly time frame, and to see what we talked about last time. When you take a look at the weekly time frame, we're going to start with the volume, right? So we anticipating a 250,000 to 270,000 volume, right, on Binance. So we currently got just about a 234. So you look at it, just about this area is 234, right? So we got like less than 24 hours, you know, for the new week to start. So we most likely going to get a 250, right? So the, you know, the previous day volume was extremely low, just about 16,000, 17,000 in that range. So I'm expecting like volatility the next 24 to 48 hours. We should be experiencing a lot of volatility. So we don't know which way it is going to go, but we should be experiencing a lot of volatility due to low volume the last 24 hours, right? So big rejection on the 50 EMA. We were anticipating it. I said it last time. It's not gonna be easy to break this 50 EMA. So we most likely gonna retest it and see what type of rejection we're gonna get. But it's not going to be easy. The road to 6K is not gonna be fun. I said it 2 weeks ago. It is not going to be fun, even though I'm extremely bullish about BTC, right? Keep that in mind, right? Let's take a look at the monthly chart again. Let's go to Bitstamp. The monthly chart on Bitstamp still looking bullish, guys. It is still looking bullish, but I don't think we're gonna, you know, I'm not gonna say I don't think, but it is gonna be hard for now to close just about this area for 6,000, get a full body candle because of that big dump we got. So in order to get this full body candle, we have to get back to that area. Hey, what's up, Lynn Johnson? Thank you for tuning in. I just opened up the chat room, right? So you take a look at this monthly candle. You know, it'll be better if like BTC is able to close like you know, with a full body candle, not extremely full body candle, but like a small tip, just like, you know, what you're seeing at the you know, at the bottom, just like that. You know, that's the type of bullishness I want to see the next like couple of days, bro, before, you know, at least like the, you know, May 1st, right? So you gotta remember last May, let's say May 2018, we got a big sell-off like to the downside until like, I think like until like late June, right? So it was exactly the May 5th, right? That's when altcoin and BTC started to drop. Like XRP was like, I think 94 cents, near almost like, you know, $95, stuff like that. So Litecoin almost $200, and then we started to drop to the downside, and, you know, drop like almost like, you know, over 80 to 90%, right, after that. So we could be experiencing the opposite. The first week of May, we could be moving to the upside instead of moving to the downside. So keep that in mind. But the monthly chart is extremely bullish. Let's take a look at the stochastic, see where we are with the monthly. It shouldn't change much because, you know, the stochastic is pretty slow, right? It is pretty slow. So we still got a big separation, so it's not gonna move much, right? So even though we got dumped 10%, we're still like extremely you know, oversold, right? Look at this region. So, and then if you want to take a look at the weekly stochastic, I mentioned it on my previous live stream. I said like we're gonna dump, right? Not dump, but I'm expecting this stochastic to you know, come back down a little bit. So guys, you gotta pay attention. Even though I'm extremely bullish, I'm giving you like indication of like you know, some you know, some downward pressure. So, but I'm looking for this stochastic to get back to this area and then flatten it again, and then you know, and then once we get to 6K, we can see like, you know, some downward pressure, you know, and then further retracement. It doesn't mean like we bearish. It's just like we're gonna retrace better for a you know, better momentum to the upside, because we cannot keep going forever, right? We cannot just hit like 10K straight up. We're gonna need some like you know, some retracement, some correction is part of the trend, right? You cannot just get like a straight line to 10K. It's not gonna be healthy at all. But I'm still looking for 5850 to 6K. You know, I've been looking for that number since like 3500, right, guys? We've been hitting our target on the dot like every single time. So I'm still looking for the 6K. So let's go back to lower time frame. So the lower time frame is really scary because the 4-hour bar is not it's not holding strong. We got a big resistance on the 50 EMA, right? When you really take a look at it, we got a big resistance on the 50 EMA. Let me take a look at it. There's 100 EMA. Let me remove this. Get my RSI back. All right. For some reason, my 100 EMA is not showing up. That's a weekly. Let's go back to the 4 hour. For some reason, we cannot break this area of 50 EMA. It is actually 50 EMA, right? On the 4 hour bar. I said it like the last, just about 24 hours ago. If BTC is able to close just about 53.37 to 53.44, we most likely gonna retest 54.85, because when you go back to the hourly time frame, it is extreme. We got that inverse head and shoulder. I said it like when BTC was just about this area, so I was looking for BTC to break this neckline, but we couldn't. So I say like a close above 53.37 going to be extremely bullish, but we got a rejection. We didn't even get to that area. We got a rejection, came back to it, got another rejection. So the 4 hour bar has to close above this trend line for us to continue the bullish trend. Otherwise, we could be retesting this 5200 range, right? 5150 in that range. Not versus a dollar, but versus USD Tether, right? So, but I keep that in mind, right? So BTC is I'm still bullish on BTC, man. As long as we remaining above like 5300, I'm still bullish until we break that triangle I just talked about at the beginning of the live stream. If you missed it, you can go back and watch it, right? So you can just rewind it and watch it. Hey, what's up, Linksfin? Hey, what's up, Matt? Hey, what's up, Hernandez? Okay, I mean, hey, what's up, Lynn Johnson? Sometimes I do that too, man. If you're familiar with the chart, sometimes you just you don't even need to watch the stream, you just listen. So hopefully like what I'm saying gonna make sense for you, while you're listening. So, but I try to give details while I'm giving the live stream. Hey, what's up, Matt? I mean, we've been bullish since since like 3500. It doesn't mean like we're not gonna get correction. Like we just following the trend. If the market like show us some bearish momentum, we definitely gonna be bearish. Okay. So, but I'm pretty bearish on the altcoin. I said it like since the first week of April. I've been bearish on the altcoin, and most of these altcoins they've been down like some of them down like 60%, right? Some of them some of these altcoins I've been bearish, been down like 30%. So and then when I was bullish on BTC went up from 3800 to almost 5600, right? So but we could be facing some retracement, but we need like further confirmation in order to be bearish, at least for the short term. So let's go ahead and talk about ADA. Now we already summarized BTC, so let's go ahead and talk about ADA. Take a look at ADA. Let's go to the bigger time frame. So when you take a look at ADA, we get back to this area of 0.786, our target, and then we're looking for this double bottom, a corrective move, just about not a corrective move, but a reversal pattern. That's what we talked about last time, right? So we sort of getting it, right? So we get a rejection from this 50 EMA. Most likely we're gonna come back and retest it. So I'm looking for ADA to retest it and not breaking this area of 0.786 and a push to the upside, get rejection from this 50 EMA. That's what I'm looking for now. I've been bearish on ADA since ADA was like 1700 sats, guys. So we hit our target, and I didn't say anything about ADA. I was just looking for further downtrend. Now we got this downtrend. I'm starting to get bullish on ADA again, right? So keep that in mind. So let's see. It doesn't mean like ADA gonna be going up. I'm just bullish because I'm looking for this reversal pattern, right? So if we, let's say we don't get this reversal pattern, we're most likely going to make a double bottom, just like the rest of the crypto. But we should get some some greenness from ADA from this area of 0.786. Neither this 382 and 50% didn't like give us a good rejection. 0.618 didn't give us a good rejection, so I'm expecting a big rejection from this area of 0.786, right? So, and target is just about 50 MA, right? 50 MA, just about 50 MA. Yeah, and the 50 MA most like gonna be coincide. It will be just about like let's see, 382, right? The 50 MA gonna be a 382 pullback also, so it is a good coincidence, right? So look for ADA, a double bottom from this area of 0.786, right? Which is just going to be a 1256 if let's say we ever going to get there again, right? 1256. Not again, but like shortly, I mean, right? So next one we're going to talk about is Bitcoin Cash. ABC, okay? Bitcoin Cash, we're still looking for this downtrend. It is holding strong. Even though BTC drop, it is giving us like a sideways correction, just about this flat correction. But I think it is just a fake out. If BTC wants to be strong again, it's definitely gonna drop, right? So because you cannot be bullish on BTC and then like be bullish on Bitcoin Cash at the same time, right? I don't see Bitcoin Cash going faster than BTC. They can be going up at the same time, but at the current state of the market, I don't see Bitcoin Cash like beating Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin like going to be bullish, right, a 5 to 10% move to the upside, most likely Bitcoin Cash going to come back, retest this 0.786, right? So 0.618, right? Let's take a look at it. I think that's USD Tether. Let's take a look at versus BTC. Yeah, versus BTC, we're already at a 50%. We're looking for this 0.618, right? So, but versus the dollar is just about like 382. So versus BTC, we've been looking for this 0.618 for the longest now, guys. It is moving sideways, just about 50%. I don't think it's gonna hold strong. If BTC like wants to go up, it's gonna come back to this area of 0.618. So I don't know how strong it is going to hold because we don't have any support, from this previous uptrend at 0.618. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm looking for Bitcoin Cash to get inside this box at least, right, for the short term. So let's go ahead and talk about Dash next. It's going to be in alphabetical order, guys. So, but if you want me to cover any other coins, you can let me know in the live stream. Hey, what's up, Peter? Hey, what's up, Hernandez? We're going to talk about Zcash. It is going to be in alphabetical order, right? So, Dash, as we mentioned, like you guys remember on my last live stream, we talked about Dash, right? And then we're looking for this divergence on the at 0.786. Like I said, right, guys, the most important date in crypto was April 1st. I said it. Now all crypto either they at 0.786, not all, I'm exaggerating, but most of them they double bottoming, right? Or either they double bottoming or they made 80% pullback. So just like Dash, you see Dash, I was pretty bullish on Dash when Dash was making this bull flag. So right after I made that video, just about the first week of April, first week of March, Dash give us like this big pump to the upside, right? Almost like for 50%, 40% move to the upside. So but just like ADA, so I'm looking for Dash and ADA to give us a divergence. They both like extremely oversold, right? So look for this divergence. So look for this divergence. So I don't know if it's gonna be a W or M, whatever, but we're gonna be monitoring Dash and ADA at the same time, right? So look for this move so to the upside. So from Dash, at least for the short term, right? So it is holding strong. It is holding strong. So, but I just talked about Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is not getting a. I'm looking for Bitcoin Cash to come back to 0.618. You see, Dash came back to 0.618. Even though Dash got a support from this previous uptrend, just about this area, but Dash couldn't even hold. So expect like Bitcoin Cash not to be able to hold in that area neither. So, but let's go ahead and talk about let's see, next one is DNT, right? DNT. DNT, we came back down to this area, but we could not hold this area of support, right? We are looking for this divergence. We got this big push to the upside, and then we say we're gonna come back down. So when DNT got this big move to the upside, we said look for a divergence, right, for confirmation. So that was like when DNT went up big, right, the second week of April. So, you know, I talked about DNT coming back down to this area, but you know, we could not hold this previous support. So we just have to wait and see for DNT to either make a bigger double bottom or give us a new lows. But like just about this area. So we pushed to the upside. We are looking for a divergence. We didn't get it. So just wait for DNT to give you further confirmation. So not you, but I'm saying like would be looking for you know DNT to give like a further confirmation, because it is pretty green like on the daily time frame. I think it's up like, because let's see, it is giving you like a sort of you know, bottom formation just about this area, but we're most likely gonna get a rejection from this 50 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, right? Just about this area, come back, retest it. So but if that's the case, it is going to be bullish, at least for the short term. We could be anticipating a further move to the upside if like we get a, you know, support from this trend line, right? So keep that in mind. So most crypto are double bottoming, or you know, either, you know, at 0.618, so 0.786. So let's go ahead and talk about engine. Engine is looking it is giving you a reversal pattern just about this area, but like I said about engine, right? Let's see, I'm still looking for engine to retest 0.786. It's not going to be easy, like I said previously, right? We double bottoming just about this area, right? So but I'm still looking for engine to retest 0.786, right? Which means BTC has to be very bullish for engine to retest this area. Otherwise it's not going to be looking good for engine at all, right? So both on BTC value and you know, dollar value. Let's say engine is dropping while BTC is dropping. Both engine dollar value and BTC dollar value dropping. It's not going to look good for engine at all, right? So keep that in mind. So but I'm looking for this area of 0.786 from engine, right? So but it doesn't mean like engine not going to give you like you know, those 5 to 8% move to the upside, because it's not going to be a straight line. It's not going to be a straight line, right? It is going to give you some it is going to be a 3-wave, at least a 3-wave move to the downside. So let me just redraw it. So it is going to be, I would be looking for a this type of wave, right? A 3-wave to the downside. So at least for the short term, and a you know, a big push to the upside again, because engine is very volatile. It can give you at least 15% from these Fibonacci's retracement, right? So at least for the short term. Hey, what's up, Lynn Johnson? Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to EOS. Guys, remember most of these coins are covered. 90% of them I don't hold them. So you know, so it is like I'm just giving like my thought, not like, you know, I want this coin to go up or go down. So I'm just giving like my honest what I think could be happening. What with not like what I'm not telling you like what's going to happen. I'm just, you know, giving you like a, you know, analysis of what could happen. So so accuracy is not, it's not the main reason. It's like just consistency, right? Be consistent. So you take a look at EOS. We've been bearish with EOS. If you followed me like the last 3 weeks, you know how bearish I was on EOS, right? So I said like I was uncomfortable with EOS. We making this double top, and then our target was just about this area of you know, between 50 EMA and 100 EMA. We hit that target, trying to come back to it. now I'm looking for a divergence from EOS, right? But a safest way to look at EOS is to come back down to 0.786, which is just about it was 15% on my last live stream, right? But it might be lower than that now. So I was pretty bearish on all altcoins, except Bitcoin is not an altcoin, but except I was only like bullish on Bitcoin, but you know, I should be. But yes, I'm looking for this area of 0.618 at least for the short term, right? This area of 100 EMA is holding strong. 100 EMA and 382 is holding the price, but I don't think it's gonna hold strong if BTC decide to move like 5 to 6% to the upside, right? So keep that in mind, because I still believe that BTC gonna retest 5600, and then most of these altcoins they're gonna move further down, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum Classic. Hey, what's up, CoinLink? DTA, I'm gonna put that on the list. I think I already passed the D list, right? So let's talk about DTA, and then so we won't be going back. I think you say DTA, since we are already on the D, and then I'm gonna move on to Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. DTA, man, this chart, I can't see anything, man. I have to go on the lower time frame. I can't do any analysis on this. So it's Bittrex, I think it must be. Let's see if Binance has it. Let's take a look at Huobi. Okay, it's better. All right, I don't know if I talked about DTA before, but you take a look at the RSI. Let's go to the daily time frame. It is not giving any reversal pattern so far. So sell off. We just about 0.786, but a slight push to the downside, right? So I would be more I would be very conservative. I'm not saying like to sell or hold, but I would be very conservative, like, and look for a reversal pattern, because you got plenty of room to go. So you just about like 32, and then you're looking for at least if you're pretty bullish on it, you would be looking at least like 70. So you got plenty of room to go, right? So I would be not go all in on DTA, right? DTA data. So and wait for confirmation, either a retest of this bottom, double bottom, a push to the upside, or look for this double bottom just about this area. So I wouldn't be in rush at all. This process could take at least like 5 to 7 days, at least for. But anything can happen, right? So but I would be waiting for confirmation, because it's just about like 0.786. So you don't know if it is going to make a new lows, or if it is going to give you like a push to the upside, like a 5 to 15% to the upside, right? So it could even be higher, right? Because the previous Fibonacci level is just about like 35% to the upside. So, but I would be looking for confirmation before entering the trade. So if you're holding, you just have to be careful and see what you want to do with your bag, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at ETH. Ethereum, we're still holding strong, and we talked about this divergence. As soon as we came back down to this trend line, we say we're looking for Ethereum to push to the upside. It is actually pushing to the upside, but it is not pushing higher, right? So, but it has to do it before BTC start to be bullish again, right? Because if BTC starts to go bullish, most likely Ethereum gonna make a further sell-off, right? And then the next area of support is nothing but this area, right? So but I would be looking for, if you look to your left, you could be very aggressive and look for this move, look for this area of support. But if you just want to be conservative and accumulate as much you can, you could be looking for a bigger double bottom. But this is that's the best chance we got so far for Ethereum to give us a divergence, a push to the upside. So I'm looking for this divergence at least for the short term. So keep that in mind, right? So we had this trend line like since last week, when Ethereum was just about this area of 0.032 in that range, and then we say Ethereum gonna come back down to 0.0297, right? And then we got that exact price. It was just lucky, right? So it's not like I knew it is going to come back down to that area, but it's kind of luck. But so I'm not looking for accuracy, I'm just looking for range. So yeah, you're welcome, CoinLink. Let's move on to ETC, and we're going to talk about BTC at the end of the live stream again, because what happened last time was kind of pretty funny. As soon as I ended up the live stream, we got 10% down. So, but Ethereum Classic, we talked about it last time. We, double bottoming, big rejection from this area, but we don't have any we're not getting any reversal pattern. Even though we got a big push to the upside, a probable retest is could be on the way, right? We could be retesting this retesting the previous low just about this area, and then look for a move to the upside, right? Some of these altcoins, like I say, they either at 0.786 or they double bottoming. Some of them they up here like 382 and 0.618, but most of them they are double bottoming, like ZILLIQA, ETC, all of them. Like I think like PIVX. I don't talk about PIVX a lot, but maybe if I get the chance, I'll talk about PIVX, because PIVX is like almost 60% down, guys, 60% down. So keep that in mind. Hey, what's up, Alum? Good to have you along, man. So I'm looking for this double bottom. I was pretty bullish on Ethereum Classic the first week of April. We got this 50% move to the upside, but was looking for a retest, but it did not hold strong. It just crushed to the downside. So I would be looking for this double bottom. If you're swing trading, day trading, put your proper target, your stop loss, and all of that. So, but I wouldn't be buying from this area, like of 1030, right? So on Binance, right? So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and move on to gas. When you take a look at gas, we're not quite yet at this area of this target we set up last time. Even though like we almost like completely like overbought. Like I would be greedy waiting for this target, but just for confirmation, not to be greedy, but just for confirmation, wait for this trend line, right? So, but we already double bottom for from Dash, right? It already double bottom, just like Ethereum Classic. So nice double bottom, but we don't have any confirmation. And the best way to look for confirmation, Dash is pretty aggressive. So sometimes it doesn't even give you confirmation. It just push to the upside, right? So I would be careful and then accumulate slowly, not heavily, for confirmation, because you got plenty of room, right? But you just don't know if this process is gonna last longer, or if you're just gonna come back to this area of neutrality before a push to the downside. But it is a good area to be accumulating Dash, at least for the short term, right? It is a good area, but you just have to do it slowly. It is not a financial advice. I'm just telling you like what I would be doing or what I will be doing. So keep that in mind. So, but Dash is already at this area of accumulation. So a nice sell-off to the downside, 3-wave move to the downside. So since like started since like April 1st. So I said it like the first week of April, guys. I'm gonna keep repeating. The most important date in crypto right now is April 1st, the first week of April. I said it, just about like April 5th, April 6th. You can go back and watch my previous videos. If you're familiar with the channel, I've been saying it, right? So I was saying like we're looking for a reversal pattern. So we're not getting any. So we said it like since, so and then we down like 35%. Right? Most crypto are down 35%, most of them. Some of them 60%, some of them 20%, but most of them, on average, they like 25 to 28% down. So keep that in mind. And it's not versus the dollar, it's versus BTC. So that's a lot. Let's go ahead and talk about ICX next on the alphabetical order. Regarding ICX, we hit our target just about this area, a reversal, but we were looking for divergence. We're not getting it yet. So ICX is holding strong. It is holding very strong. Double rejection from this area of 50 MA. We're looking for a push to the downside just about this area. So let's see. I think it's 0.786, but let's double check because I deleted it. exactly at 0.786 because it is holding strong at 0.618. So it gave us like a big move from 0.786, almost like 20%, right? So you know, we're looking for this move to this area of 0.786, so for a further move to the upside. So but we're just gonna wait for confirmation once we get to that area too, right? We're not just gonna confirm like, you know, the trend got back to reverse, right? So let's go ahead and talk about IOTA. Like I said about IOTA kind of reminds me of EOS when EOS was, you know, dropping from like almost $5 to $1.50. So it gives me the same pattern. IOTA is actually looking very bad, but I think like it is going to be one of the coins, you know, to give you like a, you know, very surprising move, because it is down so much. Even like if it goes up a little bit, it can go up like, you know, 30% to the upside, right? So I'm looking for IOTA to come back, at least retest this area with a 382 retracement, right? So if that's the bottom, and then you're looking for this to be your top, right? You could be looking for a 382 retracement, right? Which is just about like 58.42, right? 58.42 is not even that much from the current price of IOTA, right? So, but if you really think, if you really think about it, right, from 4,400, it's almost like, let's see, 30%, right? Yeah, it's almost like, you know, yes, it's almost 30%, right? So in this range, right? So it is quite amazing, like how these coins can give you like 40% move without, you know, while they're going down, right? While they're dropping. So give you 40% move while they're dropping. So, but look, I'm looking for this double bottom, at least IOTA to retest 4,400 and then a 382 pullback. It is very probable. So you know, it is down like, let's see, IOTA been down since April 1st, like since April 1st, like almost like 45% down since April 1st. So it is a lot, right? It is a lot if you're holding IOTA. So let's go ahead and talk about Litecoin next. Hey, what's up, Morgan? We're gonna talk about XRP. XRP it is on the alphabetical order. XRP is way down there. But let's see, if you guys want to talk about XRP, you could skip it, everything else, and talk about XRP. But Litecoin, as we mentioned last time, right? We got a rejection from this area of you know, 0.50%. I mean, not 0.50%, 0.5 Fibonacci, right? Retracement. We say it's gonna push to the upside, come back, retest is 0.618. It is playing out perfectly as we anticipating, right? So look for this push to the downside. It means like Litecoin gonna be extremely like oversold, right? If that's the case, so the reversal pattern for Litecoin gonna be quite interesting, because it's gonna take a long time, right? So coming back down to 0.618, gonna push the R side down to this area, and then if you're looking for a reversal, so you're looking for this move, it's gonna take quite a while. So unless Litecoin decides to be very volatile, that's the only way I can see Litecoin reversing. So very shortly. So which means like Bitcoin gonna be dominating at least for the short term. So keep that in mind, right? So the 100 EMA is not going to be holding the price too long if Bitcoin decides to go to the upside. So it is going to give up at least for the short term. So the good thing is, you know, Litecoin, we got the target of 0.0115, right? You guys remember 0.0115. So 0.0115. Let me just put it there. 0.0115. So it's been our target since Litecoin was just about this area. You know, we're getting the, you know, this rejection from 50 EMA. So that was our long-term target. So keep that in mind. Litecoin and I think Monero also like 0.0115 for some reason, right? It's just a coincidence. That's how I remember. So keep that in mind, right? Let's go ahead and talk about Nano. Nano is one of the only coins that is following BTC. So I would be expecting, like, if BTC like turn bullish again, Nano most likely gonna turn bullish against BTC again. So I mean, turn bullish again BTC again, right? So keep that in mind. So even though I'm pretty bullish on Nano, I'm still looking being very careful, because Nano is pretty interesting. Nano is respecting like all the fib levels, right? If you take a look at it, right, if you take a look at the bigger picture, right? So let's take a look at the bigger picture. Nano came back down exactly at 0.786 before a further move to the upside, right? So Nano came back down at 0.786, give us a nice accumulation move, a push to the upside, right? Just about like 50%. So usually, like when if your 50% is most of the time your 382. So if you're familiar with the Fibonacci's level, sometime you can anticipate like which one is which. So your 50%, you know, either like going to be, not either, but most of the time going to be your 382 pullback. So it came back down to 382. It is kind of scary, right? So in a double tap, just like EOS. So you just don't know if this 50 MA, I'm pretty bullish, but I'm not sure if this 50 MA gonna hold too long, right? So it's been holding strong versus BTC, unlike most of the alt. So the next BTC run up, if BTC wants to go back to 56, Nano, you know, has to do well. Otherwise, you know, we're gonna be double bottoming, at least for the short term, right? So keep that in mind. So, and bearish momentum for Nano, I would be looking for 0.786, just like the rest of the crypto. 0.786 bearish momentum, right? Bullish momentum, I'm looking for Nano to go back to let's say 50% pullback, right? 50% pullback. Let's see, 50% pullback from the previous, just about this area, right? Before a corrective move, because my ultimate target for Nano is to hit 57,000 sats. So we could be looking for 3950 to you know, 40,000, right? You know, 39,000 to 40,000, just about this area. But it is going to be challenging, right? We need a lot of volume to break this double top. So keep that in mind. Next coin on the list is NEO BTC. NEO, we talked about it. I hate to see NEO below 190,000, and then we talked about it also last time, right? We said NEO hit like 174, right? 174,000 sats, right? And then we said to look for divergence, right? That's what we exactly got. We got this double bottom, right? It was 174,000. NEO went back up, I think like just about like 190,000 when I was live stream. And then I said like look for a retest of 174,000. We already got that. So the best thing to look for now is a push to the upside, right? So we got this double bottom on NEO. We got this double bottom. That's what we were looking for. Look for at least a retest of this 50 MA. It's not going to be much from the current price of NEO. If you really like, you know, take a look at it, it's like 6%, right? It is a lot, but if you're looking for like a 20 to 25% move to the upside, it's not a lot, right? So, but we already got the double bottom. Let's look for confirmation. So we got this divergence. So NEO is actually looking bullish, right? At least for the short term. So let's see if NEO gonna be able to get to this area of you know, 75 to you know, at least 70. Let's say 66 to 70 in our side level, right? So, but it is looking bullish on the short term. It is only one of these. It is only one of the few coins looking bullish on the lower time frame, right? So on the 4-hour time frame. So most likely we're gonna get a rejection either from this 50 MA or from this 100 MA, a retest of this previous high, just about this area. So it is actually looking bullish. I'm gonna be you know, monitoring NEO at least for the short term. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PPT. PPT, just like NEO, we talked about PPT, and then we said look for this divergence from PPT. we're getting this divergence. PPT and NEO is giving you the same pattern. I changed the screen, but they both look alike, right? So we got this corrective move. We didn't get it pushed to the upside. Now we get this divergence. It is pretty good, at least for the short term. That's what I said last time when PPT went up this much. I said look for a retest of this double bottom, right? We got this retest. Now we move into the upside. So, but it has to do it before BTC turns bullish, at least for the short term, because PPT is pretty weak versus BTC. So if BTC is going up, I don't see Populous going up versus BTC. So, but we got a nice double bottom, right? I was expecting this double bottom to be higher, right? But it is not even at a it is not even at a 50%. I mean not 50%, but 50 EMA, right? So, but shortly we should be retesting this area of 100 EMA shortly, unless BTC decides to go bullish again. So, but keep that in mind. PPT is giving us a double bottom, a reversal pattern. So hopefully we're not gonna break this area of support. So. Let's go ahead and talk about VeChain, and then we're going to talk about OneChain. We're almost at XRP, guys. VeChain. Van BTC. Well, I forgot the symbol of VeChain. Okay, VeChain exactly at 0.786, just like PPT and NEO. So most of these are they're giving us a reversal pattern, but we need a bigger volume to push to the upside. So, but the case of VeChain is kind of very undecided. So you don't know if this is a corrective move for further sell-off to the downside, or if you don't know, that's a divergence, right? I mean, we got a divergence, right? But we also got a corrective move, right? We also got a corrective move, right? We got this corrective move, because this corrective move could give you a further sell-off. So you have to be very tight with your set points and all of that. So you have to be very careful. Otherwise, we could retest it, and you think like it's going to be a retest, and it is going to be a further sell-off. But we got a divergence just like NEO and Populous, but VeChain broke the previous low, retesting this area, not even a rejection from a 50 EMA. So it is not a, it is not a 100% confirmation we're going to the upside unless we break this area. We could be, pushing to the upside, right? But we at least got what we're looking for, a divergence. We at least got it. So, but we have to break this area on the lower time frame, the 4-hour time frame. We have to break it. The volume is pretty low. We have to break this area. We just have to break it with clear confirmation and move to the upside. So keep that in mind, right? So let's go ahead and talk about OneChain. OneChain, just like VeChain, a nice corrective structure, a nice corrective structure just about this area, but it is very undecided. So yeah, it is quite amazing. Like you don't know if it is going to push to the upside, or if it is just going to retest it, push to the upside. So, but the best scenario for OneChain is to wait for confirmation, like to break the previous high just about this area, break it, and then you can anticipate the push to the upside, or you wait for a retest. But it is giving you a corrective structure. So this corrective structure could be a further sell-off, and OneChain is already making a new lows, right? But it is so, the R side is so down on a lower time frame. It is not so down, it is actually 44, but it's been so down, right? So you just not sure, even though you got this move, you don't know if the R side gonna come back down, just like that. It could, it could come back down. It's not going to be a big deal, right? It is just going to be a part of the structure before it further move to the upside. But you always want to look for confirmation, because it is just noise right now, even though we got divergence. So look for a retest of this area of a previous low. It is the safest thing to do. just about this area of 630 if you like swing trading or day trading. If you're holding for long term, you wouldn't care at all, but if you're swing trading or day trading, I would be looking for a retest and a further sell off, right? So at least for the short term, right? So let's go ahead and talk about Walton and then XLM next. XLM got a long way to go. I've been pretty bullish on XLM, but the first, let's say the first target going to be at 0.618, not to be harsh on XLM. Target 0.618 instead of 0.786, right? So we got a rejection from 50%, but it is not strong enough, right? Just like the rest of the crypto. Even though we getting this push to the upside, I'm looking for this, further sell-off, right? So we say XLM gonna be dropping since when? My last live stream, right? We called for it and then it dropped almost like 11%, right? So we could be expecting like further sell-off from XLM, just about 12% to the downside, and retest this area of 0.618. So we could at least get like a 5 to a 10% move to the upside from XLM. Let's say we swing trading or day trading. We could get this rejection of from 0.618 to a 0.5, right? So which is going to be a roughly 10% move to the upside. So but XLM next target just about 0.618. So next target from XLM. It is pretty bullish. Our side is facing to the upside, but I'm not really convinced with this low volume. So especially on the lower time frame. So on the daily time frame, it is it is just moving sideways. We're not getting like 3 waves move to the downside. It is just like a straight sell off. So I think like XLM got a long way to go. So even though putting this target at a 0.618, it is kind of very aggressive. So but let's just say 0.618 first, and then we see how we're gonna get some corrective move. But we're not getting any 3 wave move to the downside like ADA, Litecoin, something like that. So we could be getting this move. It is not going to be a straight sell off to the downside, right? Like that. It's not going to be like that, right? So, and then if you want to take a look at your extension tool, you get your extension tool just about this area, that area. Just about this area. You could be looking at your 0.786 is almost a 1-to-1 extension, depending at what point XLM going to be start to be moving to the downside, right? So but 0.786 is the safest bet for XLM, at least for the short term, right? So it's the safest bet unless you want to target a 0.618 to be aggressive, at least for the short term. Hey, what's up, Sunny? Hey, what's up, Raphael? BTC, we already talked about BTC at the beginning of the live stream, and then we're going to talk about BTC again at the end of the live stream, all right? We're going to talk about BTC and see where BTC is going down. I mean, where BTC is going, whether it's going down or up, right? So let's go ahead and talk about Monero. I think Monero, we hit our target of 0.0115 in that range, XMR. And I think it is double bottoming, but let's double check. So Monero, we hit our target. If you guys remember, like last week when we talked about Monero coming back down to this trend line, because you remember, guys, we had this trend line just like that, right? So as soon as we get to this trend line, we said just to be safe, you could change your trend line, right? Either you can put it just about this area or you can put it just about this area. And I said like the safest thing to do is to put it just about this area, so we get a clear double bottom. And then we came back exactly at 0.115 and some other decimals, but they're too small. But just about 0.115, that's what we say. I think it came back down to 0.115 and 2-3, something like that. But the bigger picture is that it came back down to this trend line. So and then look for a retest. Look for a retest, because BTC could be crushing this altcoin very shortly. So look for a retest. If you miss this 0.115, you could be looking for a retest. So you don't not to be in rush, at least for the short term. So the next push from Monero could be very aggressive because we're so far away from this 50 MA. Even though if like we're gonna get a crossover, we still gonna retest it. We're gonna retest this 50 MA at some point, right? So we're gonna retest it because Monero give us a clear ABC correction to the downside. So a clear ABC correction to the downside. We already got this corrective move coupled with the R side being at 30. So look for a divergence before it move to the upside, at least for the short term. So at least for the short term. So hey, what's up, HR? Thank you, man. HR. All right. Next one we're gonna talk about is King XRP. XRP, we're gonna start with the daily time frame. We kind of lower our target from XRP. I've seen like XRP like was pushing to the upside last couple of days when BTC was going down. XRP was going up versus BTC. That's a good sign. So at least for the short term. But XRP is still moving just about this area. The divergence is getting bigger and bigger. So even though like XRP is going down, we're not making lower lows on the R side, right? The R side keep making some higher lows, so that's a good thing. So but at least for the short term, we have to get out of this area, at least for the short term. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but at least for the short term, we have to get out of this area, right? We have to get out of this area. We could be pushing to the downside and get into this area of just about like 4,500 sats, and get a nice reversal pattern, a push to the upside, because we don't have any other area of support. Like I put this area of support, that was our next area of support. If you watch my previous live stream, I said it, like, and then we came exactly at that area of support, right? Because you have to take a look at the bigger picture, right, to get that you have to take a look at the bigger picture, right? I said look to your left, this area, this double bottom, just about this area, right? It is going to be the next area of support, right? We got it, but we're not getting any reversal pattern yet, because you got to think about it, it's a weekly time frame, so it's going to take quite a while to get a reversal pattern. But it is a nice support. We just have to wait and see if XRP is going to respect it. Otherwise, we don't have any other support but this area, right? So this area. So that's what I said last time, right? I still got the same percentage dropping, right? So now we almost like a 17% drop versus BTC, right? So if BTC goes up 10%, most likely XRP gonna drop that much. So versus BTC, but we're just gonna have to wait and see, right? So hey, what's up, Computer Royal? Let's go ahead and talk about Zcash. We already talked about XRP on the bigger time frame. Let's take a look at the lower time frame, see what we got. The lower time frame price is it is moving very slow, and then the R side is keep getting higher and higher, right? So it's not a good thing. So it is not a good thing at all. So a probable double bottom is XRP are probably going to be double bottoming and then give us a reversal pattern. If not, we gonna move further to the downside. On a lower time frame, it is looking nice, but it is moving very slow. So but I would be looking for this double bottom first, if you like swing trading or day trading. But if you're looking for the long term, I would be looking for like a 4,500 range, in that range, 4,500. Right, because price is not just gonna drop like straight to that area, so without giving you like this big push to the upside, 5-6% move. So just 7%, that move is 7%, this move is also almost like 7%, right? So it is gonna give you these moves, so keep that in mind. It's not gonna get straight to a 4,500, so keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and talk about Zcash and ZILLIQA. Zcash is still like giving us a a further sell-off. It is making new lows on Binance. I don't think that's the lowest price on of Zcash. I'm not sure if that's the lowest price, but Zcash is making like some new lows, right? So, and we don't have any reversal pattern so far from Zcash, so it is not looking good at all. Even though I was pretty bullish on Zcash, it is not looking good at all. It is not looking good at all from Zcash. So we got a divergence, a push to the upside, but it is not strong enough to confirm like we about to move to the upside, right? It is not strong enough to confirm like we moving to the upside. So the best thing to do is just wait for further confirmation on the daily time frame, not on the lower time frame. So I would be waiting a confirmation on the daily time frame, not on the lower time frame, because even though we got like big rejection, the 4-hour time frame is giving us a divergence. Lower time frame bigger time frame is the all side is just about 25. You could be accumulating in slowly, but I wouldn't be going heavy until you get like further confirmation, and then you can add on as soon as we start turning bullish. Because if Zcash decide like to go up, it is gonna give you like a big push to the upside, just like this, just like that, right? You could be anticipating a big push to the upside, just like that, right? And then you're gonna wait for confirmation of a 0.618 pullback, and then you're gonna anticipate the uptrend. But as up to now, wait for confirmation, at least for the short term. It is not a financial advice. I'm just saying like wait, because I'm talking to myself. So the Heiken Ashi is not looking nice so far. No reversal pattern. So no reversal pattern, at least for the short term. I would be looking for a big tail, big wick, small body first, before a reversal pattern. But it is looking extremely bearish versus BTC. We just talked about XLM. I think XLM was before we talked about XRP. So if you rewind it, you can watch XLM just about like 5-7 minutes. Computer Royal. Let's talk about ZILLIQA. You can just rewind 5-7 minutes, and then you can watch XLM. ZILLIQA. I just changed the screen, and ZILLIQA is already just like Zcash. So ZILLIQA, we called for this double bottom, I believe, right, last time. Let's go back to the lower time frame, right? We called for ZILLIQA. Okay, let's see. Let me remove this. On the 4-hour time frame, ZILLIQA is looking nice. It is looking nice, a nice divergence, right? A nice divergence. I was looking earlier about the price of ZILLIQA, and I was looking for ZILLIQA to come back down to this area of 329 before a further move to the upside. That's what you guys was seeing when I just popped up the ZILLIQA price action. So it seems like we came back down to, let's see, exactly a 50% pullback, and then now we're getting a rejection. So if like ZILLIQA decide to push to the upside, we're gonna retest 0.618 and move further right to the upside. But it is not making a corrective move. The only way I could be anticipating a corrective moves is like we get back to this area and get a rejection, then I would be anticipating a further sell-off. But up to now, as up to now, I'm looking for a retest of this 0.618 pullback, and then a further move to the upside. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. So I'm pretty bullish on ZILLIQA, at least for the long term, right? So pretty bullish on ZILLIQA. So I would be looking for just about like 320 to 325 in that range before I push to the upside. But we got this double top, which is pretty scary. I said it last time on Bitcoin, and then right after the end of the live stream, we got a big sell-off. So I don't want to say the same thing again. But this double top is pretty scary from ZILLIQA. So you just have to remain very cautious and if you're day trading, put your stop loss, right? So but this double top is pretty scary, so at least for the short term, right? So let's go ahead and talk about WePower, and then we're going to go to BTC. WePower, we broke this previous low just like the rest of the it is making new lows on Binance, and then we break this previous low. I had this trend line for, let's see, let me refresh this screen. The screen is freezing, I cannot move it left and right, so okay. All right, so it is WePower, not ZILLIQA. All right, come on. So WePower, just like ZILLIQA, same pattern, right? Same pattern. We are already making new lows, so a nice divergence, but this divergence, you don't know if it's going to be a corrective move for further sell-off, right? Like that. You don't know if it's going to be, we're going to retest this area, right? You got your flat correction just about this area and a further sell-off, or we're going to push to the upside. But on the 4-hour time frame, this divergence, the divergence is here, so we got this big move to the upside, a retest. So I would be looking for monitoring WePower at least for the short term and see if we're gonna retest this 50 MA and then push to the upside. So but we have to do it before BTC decide to push to the upside, right? So at least for the short term, but we got a corrective move, very undecided. Just have to be careful at least for the short term. You just have to be careful. But it is looking the RSI is looking pretty bullish, but altcoin has been like most of these alt, they've been down like so much, so you just have to be extremely careful because they can give you a fake out, right? So wait for confirmation at least for the short term and volume and bullishness, and then you can take the trade. I'm talking to myself as you. All right, let's go back to BTC. And then BTC USD Tether, right? I know Tether has like a lot of food recently, but we're just gonna stick with the USD Tether for now. BTC USD Tether, what's the current price of BTC? 52.95 on Binance. On the 4-hour time frame, we're gonna start with the 4-hour time frame. We're looking for BTC to close above 53.44, just above the 50 MA. I've been looking for this price like the last 24 hours, right? BTC to close above 53.44, above this 50 MA, right? 50 MA, right? So depending which one you use, but they're pretty close. So but I just changed it to 50 MA. So I'm looking for BTC to close above 50 MA at least for the short term, because if you go back to the let's say let's go to the 1-hour time frame. When you go back to the 1-hour time frame, you got this, last night we got this inverse head and shoulder. I was looking for it, BTC to close just about this area, but that was like even like almost like 12 hours before I was looking for this BTC to get rejection, right? We got rejection earlier, like less than 5-6 hours ago, just about this area. Now we're pushing to the downside, so I'm looking for a retest of this area. So but if like BTC close above 53.44, target is nothing but a 1-to-1 extension. You guys should know by now, target is 1-to-1 extension, just about let's see, 54.85, right? 54.85. Let's say we close above this 53.44, right? Next target is just about 54.90, right? Let's say 54.90 in that range, right? So you don't need to be accurate. So let's say BTC we get further sell off. You go back to the 4-hour time frame. We already talked about this triangle. If you guys remember, like I think like April 17 in that range, right? We talk about this triangle in this range. So we're still in the same area, right? We talk about this triangle and that triangle, right? So talk about this triangle. So we basically moving within this triangle, right? So give or take, right? So less than a half a percent, like above this trend line. So not even 1% above this trend line. So we came back down just about like 1% below the trend line. So that's a bullish scenario, right? So let's take a look at it again. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's a bullish scenario, right? So next target is just about like 56.50, right? If BTC wants to, I mean, just about this trend line, because you don't know at what point BTC gonna get back to this area. So you cannot just like put the number 4 just about this area and say 56.50, right? So, but I would be looking for a target in this range. I don't know like if it is going to be 56, 50, 56.50 in that range, but plus minus 1% is not going to hurt a lot. So that's a bullish scenario. Let's take a look at the bearish scenario. It is going to be the same triangle, but different pattern, right? So you would be looking at this triangle. So that's going to be, let's go back to let's just change this like this, right? So you come on, right? So you would be looking at this triangle for the bearish momentum, right? So you already got let me draw it properly. If you draw it like that, you already got a 5-way structure. So we can only like move to the upside. But let me go to the daily time frame and see. Let me go back to the daily time frame. Come on, triangle. All right. So we talked about it like at the beginning of the live stream. So if you want to be bearish, you can look for this move, one more touch to the upside, and a further selling pressure to the downside. So that's a bearish momentum. So as soon as we get back to 56, you could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as we get back to this area of 5600, you want to be bearish. You could be like anticipating like a further sell off, right? But no. I'm still bullish, at least for the short term, but that's a bearish scenario. If like we get to this area and then we break below this triangle, I'm definitely going to be bearish, at least for the short term. But it doesn't mean like we're going to go back to like a 2500, 2000. I'm not looking for those numbers. I'm looking for like a mid 4500 to mid like mid 4500, in that range, 46 to 48 range, right? So which is just going to be, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. We talked about this like guys like just about late March, right? So I said like this is gonna break this neckline, push to the upside, and come back down to 0.618 to 0.5 Fibonacci, right? So we talked about it a long time ago. So basically we just following up, right? So all this, you know, setup is just follow up. So it doesn't mean like we bearish coming back down to this area. If you're a short-term trader, definitely it is going to be bearish. But if you're looking for the long term, it is nothing but a pullback for further move to the upside, right? So a 10% move from Bitcoin is not a big deal, at least for the long term, right? If you're looking for the long term. But that's a bearish, not bearish momentum, but the corrective the corrective move we're looking for. If like we get a rejection from 5600, right? We are coming back down to you know, retest this 0.5 to 0.382, right? 0.5 to 0.382 in this range. So in this range, we're looking for a retest. So, but as you know, for the short term, I'm looking for a breakout from 53.40, at least for the short term, for further move to the upside. So keep that in mind. We have to break 53.44 at least for the short term in order to move to the upside, because otherwise we're just gonna keep getting these these flags, right? You got one flag in here, right? A sell off, and then you got another flag, sell off. You remember like the first week of the year, I mean not the first week, but the first month of the year, right? Back in January we were getting these flags, right? So push to the downside, flag, push, and then we got that move. So that's how we made the previous sell off just about this area. Right, we were getting these flags, so you could be anticipating like BTC giving you these push to the downside flag, push to the downside flag, and then a further move to the upside. So keep that in mind, guys, keep that in mind. So we were just getting these flags, we got this big sell off to the downside, right? We got this flag, another sell off, a flag, another sell off, a flag, a final sell off, and then we got this push to the upside. So same thing could be happening. We just have to be careful. Even though I'm extremely bullish on BTC, a retest of 46 to 48 is also very possible, but keep that in mind. So keep that in mind. So we just have to take a look at both scenarios. All right, guys, that's about it for today. So I'm just gonna leave you with this triangle and see which one gonna play out first, as we don't know, right? But I'm gonna leave you with the bullish scenario, because I'm extremely bullish, guys. I'm extremely bullish on BTC. So we're just gonna leave it like this. That's how I left it last time we talked about the triangle. So it is still playing out pretty well. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. One, two, three, somewhere 4 and 5, and then I push to the upside. So, and let's see if it's gonna play out like this, right? All right, Bobby Crypto, thanks a lot. Hey, what's up, Raphael? Thanks a lot. So let me know what you think down below the comment section. Also, if you think like we're gonna be getting further sell-off, because most people are anticipating a further sell-off before a retest, because this sell-off was just a FUD. It's not natural. We got a back and then we got a sell-off. So that's what we got. We're not getting a natural sell-off, but it could trigger a natural sell-off. So we just have to be careful. So just because like I say BTC gonna be extremely bullish and then we're down 10%, it doesn't mean anything. Most people have been looking for like 15,000 BTC in 2018. We didn't even get like to we didn't even get to like 10K. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. It's not about being wrong or right. It's just about being consistent. So once the bull run is here in 2022, I mean the bull run gonna be here soon. But once we tapping out, like in 2024, 2023, you're gonna have a strategy of cashing out, or taking profit, stuff like that, or knowing at what point you want to buy back, stuff like that. Because all of this is just to rehearsal. It's not the real bull run. You're not even gonna get time to do all of these, because the market gonna be so volatile. yeah, you won't be having time like to do any Elliott waves. You're just gonna be buying and accumulating. Market keep going up, just like 2017, right? Last quarter of 2017. So all you do is just buy and accumulate, because you know market gonna be going up. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. I'm just gonna call it a day, and then you know, I'm gonna go live if BTC decide to be extremely interesting again, right? So I'm gonna go live definitely. All right, thank you for watching, guys. All right, thank you, HR.